Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife, the story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. In our last episode, our friends became aware that the lifeboat which they were trying to row to shore was being towed along by some mysterious force. Now it's shortly after. We hear Mary say to Harry,
My goodness, we're going. I've never seen it go this fast. This is scary.
Something's got hold of this boat, that's all I can think.
You know what? Look here.
What?
That's a net there. I think, do you see way over there about 10 o'clock?
Yes? Why?
You see that boat there?
It is a boat.
Looks like a fishing trawler, and I think we're being pulled in on a net. I really do.
That's exactly right. Look.
Look at all the scrod and the lemon sole here, all around us in this net.
Yes, and some gray sole, too.
Yeah.
Halibut.
Whitefish.
Haddock.
Yes. Hake. Look at the hake in there.
Cod.
And scrod, all kinds of fish. And we're the biggest ones of all, sitting here.
At least we see some help coming to us, Calvin. That's the big thing. Oh, yes. Miss Rogers sees the boat, too. Yes, they're pulling us in. We're going to land up on the deck. Then we'll be able to get back to land. Maybe they even came out of Mystic Seaport, Connecticut. Who knows?
Well, I hope so. They look like friendly people up there.
Yes, they see us now. I think they know they've caught us.
Yankee fishermen are awfully nice people.
Oh, yeah.
They're hardy people.
They're taciturn, but they're nice.
Yes, well, of course, they go down to the sea in ships, and that, changes their entire outlook on life.
Yes, they're salty.
Yeah, but they're the salt of the earth also.
That's right. Well, Mary, you're going to have your first step aboard a fishing trawler.
Just think of that, up there with all those lovely Yankee fishermen.
Look what that says on the front. CXMML. Wonder what that means.
Guess that's the name of the boat, Commissioner.
Or it might be the year it was launched.
Could very well
1935.
be. Could very well be, sure.
Well, they see us. Look, there's one of the men waving to us over the side.
He's very friendly. Hello there.
Hi, ahoy.
We've been cast adrift on a little dinghy.
By Captain Wolf Larson.
We got caught up in your net, sir.
What's that?
What do you say, buddy? We can't hear you. What do you say?
You know what I think?
What?
I think he's not a Yankee fisherman at all.
It doesn't sound like he comes from Gloucester, I'll say that.
You know, they say there are a lot of Russian trawlers in the area fishing off our shores.
Oh, pshaw, I think probably you're right. I think maybe we've been caught up in a Russian fishing seine.
Good gravy, I think we have, Mary.
Oh, my.
Ahoy up there. Yes.
You see, we were set adrift by Captain Wolf Larson, sir, and we're heading for Mystic, Connecticut. And somehow we get tangled up in your nets. I hope you'll excuse us.
See, I'm Harry Backstage, famous Broadway star. This is my wife, Mary. He doesn't sound too happy.
No, really, they're Broadway stars. Just look at them.
I think he ordered the net to be pulled up onto the deck.
I think it's best now that we just be quiet. Just go along with them. Play it their way until we can, make some kind of sensible contact.
That's right. Well, they're pulling us up on the winch.
Look at all the fish.
Gray sole, lemon sole, haddock, hake, scrod,
mackerel,
cod,
and the halibut.
Dabs.
And look, 2 smelt.
Not a bad average. And so our friends discover that they have been saved, for the time being anyway, by a Russian fishing boat. You'll want to join us tomorrow when we'll hear the captain say, That's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking. Sir, have you ever seen me before?
No, sir, I've never seen you before.
And you've received no remuneration for taking part in this listener comparison test?
I've received no remuneration to participate in this test.
Now, you listened to both the Bob and Ray Show, the award-winning program,
Yes,
and
sir.
then to some other program.
Yes, sir.
What were your findings?
I found out two things after listening to the Bob and Ray Show, and that's why I prefer them. First of all, my shirt's a shades whiter, and the program's also refreshing. No bitter aftertaste. And now, Celebrity Chasers, dramatized incidents about people whose lives have been touched by others more elegant and well-known than themselves.
Gosh, honey, I'll be glad when we finish up these dishes so I can sit down and relax.
Well, it'll only be a few more minutes.
Yeah. Say, Irene, what do you think I saw on 6th Avenue today?
Who?
Charlton Heston.
You saw Charlton Heston in person?
Well, if I knew you were going to drop a dish, I wouldn't have mentioned it. Anyhow, you know what he told me?
You talked to Charlton Heston in person?
Well, yeah, he asked me for a light.
He asked you for a light? You, Sandy Hairston, husband of me, Irene Hairston?
Well, he didn't have any matches, and he wanted to smoke, I guess.
Sandy, what was the first word Charlton Heston said to you? Now, it's important that you get it right.
As I remember, the first word he said was, hello.
Isn't it typical of a man like that to meet a person for the first time and say hello?
I guess so. Anyhow, as I was talking to him, Walter Pigeon happened to pass by.
Walter Pigeon?
Yeah, that's right. Charlton stopped him and introduced him to me.
Oh.
Once the ice was broken, they turned out to be swell guys. We stood around, talked about movie stars we've all enjoyed, like Irene Dunn, Howard Keel, Katherine Grayson, Betty Davis, John Wayne, Rock Hudson. And you know what else happened, honey?
What more could happen to a person in their whole lives?
Anyway, when I gave Charlton Heston a light, he offered me a cigarette, so I took it. Well, I lit the cigarette, smoked it all the way down, and then just as I was about to throw it away, I thought of you and how you might like it.
Sandy, did you bring home, as a souvenir, the cigarette butt, which was once full-sized, but not anymore, because you smoked it? Sandy, do you have the cigarette butt that Charlton Heston gave you when it was whole?
Yes, here it is.
Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife, the story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and of their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway.
Yesterday, our friends discovered that the strange force propelling their lifeboat through the ocean was a Russian fishing vessel in whose net they were caught. Hauling net, lifeboat, fish, and our friends aboard, it's moments later now as we hear the captain of the trawler say,
Oh, you're Americans, are you?
Yes, that's right. I'm handsome Harry Backstage, Broadway star, beloved of a million other women, and this is my wife, Mary.
How do you do?
This is Calvin L. Hoogovin, our next-door neighbor,
Yes, sir.
and Pop Beloved stage doorman, and Miss Rogers, Miss Cherry Rogers.
Well, welcome aboard. I speak English not too well, but I'll try.
Well, that's
my worst.
Trying to understand Russian, certainly.
Well, I think you did very well. I seem to know exactly what you mean. You said worst when you meant best.
Yes, it
Well, I
kind
don't
of
think he wants a lesson right now, Mary.
talking a little bit backwards, but
Maybe you'd like to get into wet clothes.
into dry clothes, you mean? Yes, that would
You
be
probably
good.
mean into dry clothes.
But don't correct him too much, Mary.
Dmitri,
Yeah.
take these people above the decks. Get them some wet clothes.
Yeah.
Well, let's
He
do what
means
they
yes.
say. We know what we need.
That's right. We can point out to him.
Sir, excuse me. We're on our way to Chelsea, Massachusetts, by way of Mystic, Connecticut. You see, we were on this boat, the Morgan, captained by, I don't know if you ever bumped into him, or Captain Wolf Larson, a very strange person.
Maybe you've met on the high seas, Captain.
Yes, I have not.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Well, anyway, he put us overboard into this dinghy that eventually got caught in your nets, and then you pull us aboard.
That's how we came to be here, and we'd like to get back to Chelsea just as soon as we can.
We're on our way. Here's map. Show me where Chelsea are.
Well, there is Chelsea, and you can see there's Boston Harbor. If we could get to Boston Harbor, we could get to Chelsea.
I think maybe we could not take you, Boston.
Oh,
Why so?
Wait a minute. I can't understand.
if he is speaking the opposite of what he thinks he is, he's saying he'll take us to Chelsea.
That's exactly what I mean.
Here, maybe I can make some sense with him. You mean you won't take us to Chelsea?
I definitely can't take you to Boston.
Good, wonderful.
That's for sure. No how, anyway.
Wonderful, Captain. Now, if we can just get those dry clothes, we'll all be comfortable.
That's right. Okay, drop anchor.
Yes.
I don't know how to tell him this, but drop anchor is the wrong term.
Should be up anchor.
Yeah. We're underway.
Well, it's coming up and we're moving, right.
Maybe they know more about English than we know.
He knows what he means, anyway.
Go above deck, get wet clothes.
We better do what he says.
All right, Tavares.
Dippa-dippa-da.
That means friend. We'll be back on deck as soon as we're changed.
Okay, Tavares.
Hello? I can't understand this at all. You have to think backwards.
You know what?
What?
I'm starved.
Could we not eat, Captain?
What?
Could we not have something to eat?
In no way can we all eat soon.
Good. I'm starved, too. Wonder what kind of food they have on this vessel.
Russian.
Russian food? Like
what else?
stroganoff, something like that?
What else did you expect? Probably Russian stroganoff, and of course, the telephone is ringing.
Oh, that's not a telephone, Calvin. It's some kind of a ship signal. I think it means we're underway under full steam or something. What's that, Miss Rogers?
Dippa-dippa-dippa-da, dippa-dippa-dippa-doo. Now, I don't know what that means. She isn't even pointing to anything.
No, but she's looking in the direction Harry went. He's not here anymore. Neither is Mary.
You mean Harry and Mary are left?
Well, they've gone someplace. Don't know where. Maybe we'd better follow them. May we follow them, Captain?
You may not. Of course.
Thank you. And so, the captain of the Russian fishing boat agrees, probably, to take our friends to Boston Harbor. You'll want to be here tomorrow when we'll hear the captain say,
There you are. That's not Boston.
that's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage, Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking.
Now it's time to pick up some more valuable tips for your home handyman as we pay another of our regular visits to the basement workshop of Fred Falvey, the do-it-yourselfer. Fred, I saw that fresh tan paint on your basement stairs, so I tried to be careful where I stepped on the way down here.
Well, it's lucky you did, Ray, because that isn't tan paint on the steps, it's flypaper. I've used a few simple tools and other workshop equipment to cover the whole stairway, except for that little strip down the edge where you can walk.
Well, covering the steps with flypaper sounds like a great idea, Fred, and I hope our dear friends of the radio audience will make a note of it. It's a fine do-it-yourself method of protecting your home from insects during the summer months ahead.
Well, covering the basement steps with flypaper is a good do-it-yourself method for protecting your home from burglars during the summer months ahead.
You're using flypaper to catch burglars, Fred?
Yes, several of the neighbors had valuable tools stolen from their workshops recently, and, well, it occurred to me that nailing flypaper to the steps would be a good way to deter crime without buying a burglar alarm.
Well, I guess it would be cheaper, Fred, but does it work?
Oh, quite well, yes. A prowler did make off with a handsaw worth about $15 the other night, but he had to leave his $30 shoes stuck to the steps.
So there you have it, dear listeners, just one more valuable tip for better living by doing it yourself.
And I'm sure the workshop project you're planning to describe to the home handyman this week will be just as useful, Fred.
This week, Ray, I've chosen a very useful workshop project to describe to the home handymen listening in.
Good.
We all know how it drains the family budget to pay our monthly telephone bill. But few people realize that it only takes simple tools and some inexpensive equipment to build their own phone system that can be operated for nothing.
Well, I noticed that you have a new phone there on the workbench with a lot of wires coming out the back, but I assumed you'd had somebody install it for you.
No, if you'll observe more closely, you'll see that the phone doesn't have a dial. It's the type that was used years ago when the operator placed all your calls for you.
And being obsolete now, I imagine these old models can be picked up for almost, well, nothing at any local phone company, right?
These old models can be picked up from almost any local electronic supply house for about $60.
Gee, I wouldn't have guessed they were that expensive.
Well, this phone pays for itself in just a few months, Ray. You see, each of these wires hanging down the back runs to a different party that you call regularly. So you merely connect the wire you want to use with the aid of an ordinary household screwdriver, and you have all the phone service you need.
And I see that each of those wires is a different color. I suppose that's so you can pick out the one you want to connect quickly and easily.
That's right. That's right. I have this red one here for the grocer, blue for the drugstore, green for the all-night lumber yard, and so forth. Eventually, this yellow one will go to my wife's mother in Cincinnati. I just need to find someone driving that way who doesn't mind unrolling 700 or 800 miles of wire for me.
Well, I know that one will save you a lot of money on long-distance calls. But don't you have to pay the phone company to let you attach your private wires to their poles?
No, it's not done that way at all. The wires are just stretched across the ground. Of course, they occasionally get cut in two by lawnmowers or other sharp instruments that way, but it's no big job to find the breaks and repair them with simple tools and ordinary household friction tape.
Well, it sure looks like a money-saving idea for any handyman with the spare time to keep it in operation. But suppose you need to call someone who isn't connected with your phone by one of these separate lines.
That's no problem, Ray. See this white wire? This runs across the workshop and out the window. It goes to my neighbor next door. So I can just ring him up and have him use his ordinary phone to call anybody in the country for me.
And, of course, that has the additional advantage of putting most of your toll calls on your neighbor's phone bill.
Right.
So, once again, we've seen a typical example of how to live better by doing it yourself. Direct from the basement workshop of Fred Falvey, the do-it-yourselfer. And now, the makers of Pietro's Pizza, the pizza with the hole in the center, invite you to ride with the men of Squad Car 119.
My name's Sam Finch. Me and my partner, Ralph R. Kruger, Jr., we're the unsung heroes of the police force. We ride a prowl car at night, risking our lives so that decent people can go about their business in peace. The other evening, we were sitting in the day room when my partner, Ralph R. Kruger, Jr., turned to me and said,
"Have you got a key that will fit this desk, Sam?"
"Of course not. It's your desk. Why would I have a key to fit it?"
Well, I know you used to collect keys, and I thought you might just have one to fit this desk.
Yeah, but I just collect unusual keys. Fancy ones made out of wrought iron, things like that. Never had one to fit that desk.
Too bad. I've got my lunch meat and sandwich bread in there and don't know how to get it out. That darn Glimmett uses this desk in the daytime, and he's always locking it when he leaves at night.
Told me once he was afraid somebody would steal his overshoes. Keeps them in one of the desk drawers there.
Well, I don't know how I'm supposed to get my lunch meat and sandwich bread out. You know how faint I get if I don't eat right on time.
Yeah.
Darn that Glimmett.
I'll get it. Hello?
This is the skipper. Another anchor factory has been broken into, 4326 Pico Street. Looks like the same M.O. as the last one. Had a roll on it.
Right, Skipper.
Skipper, huh?
Yeah, another robbery at an anchor factory. Better roll on it.
Sam, I can't go out on a call with my stomach empty this way. You know how faint I get.
Couldn't you grab a quick sandwich at the lunch counter downstairs?
No, it closes at 6 o'clock. Besides, I hate to eat in restaurants. You can never tell what they put in their lunch meat. Myrtle grinds ours special. Nothing but veal, mutton, a little bit of waterfowl in it.
Maybe you could call Glimmett at home, have him come down, unlock the desk for you.
I thought of that, but I've got his phone number written on a black book, and that's inside the desk. Boy, I'm sure getting faint. Can you hear my stomach growl?
There's a candy bar machine down on the second floor. Maybe a couple of those have tied you over.
No, I've just got a taste for lunch meat. That stuff Myrtle makes is really wonderful. Just veal, mutton, a little bit of waterfowl. She grinds it up. I stuff it in the casing. I can almost taste it.
Did you try shaking the desk drawers to see if they'd come open?
Glimmered anyway. Yeah, I did. I tried it. Things locked tight. Must be over half a pound of lunch meat in there.
Yeah.
Almost a whole loaf of sandwich bread.
Yeah. I got it. Hello.
This is the skipper. Never mind that run to the anchor factory over on Pico Street. The case has been cleared up by the men of Squad Car 87. The fugitive has been identified, booked, and brought to trial. In a moment, the results of that trial.
While we're awaiting the results of today's exciting case, a friendly reminder to buy and try Pietro's Pizza. It's available now with chocolate frosting as a delicious warm weather dessert treat. Get some from your local pizza dealer today.
No anchors were found in the possession of the fugitive in that robbery at 4326 Pico Street. The man was released for lack of evidence.
So, another thrilling crime is solved by the unsung heroes of the police force, the men who ride the squad cars at night.
Let's try once again. Maybe they've gone out to dinner down there. It's
627 down there.
Yeah, right. It's the same time here in New York.
All right.
This is Bob and Ray here at WOR, Master Control, calling Wally Ballou in Blackstone, Virginia. Come in, please, Wally Ballou.
Said he might have a second report for us.
It's always embarrassing.
You doing everything right, John?
Wally Ballou, come in, please, if you read us. This is so embarrassing. Well, anyway, he was going to say, in essence, we have his report that he was in Blackstone, Virginia, and that they arrived there this morning at approximately 3:15 local time, and that they had a very enjoyable day in Blackstone and were planning to leave tonight about 10:15, heading northward.
Where will they be tomorrow?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
I have no idea.
Well, it'll be someplace north of there, and they hope to arrive back in the city here on Saturday the 1st. Next, Mary Backstage, Noble Wife, the story of America's favorite family of the Footlights and their fight for security and happiness against the concrete heart of Broadway. It's the day following our last episode now, and as the Russian fishing vessel carrying Mary, Harry, Calvin, Pop, and Miss Rogers approaches Boston Harbor, we see our friends standing on the forward Orlop deck, anxiously looking for their first glimpse of Chelsea and its theater in the round. We hear?
What is this, the forward or the loft deck?
This is the forward Orlop deck.
Oh, is that word interchangeable?
What do you mean by that, Calvin?
Well, is it forward or is it lop? I don't know.
No, it's Orlop. It's the Orlop deck.
Oh, O-R-L-O-P?
Yes, and we're anxiously looking forward to our first glimpse of Chelsea, Massachusetts.
Well, I've been there before.
Well, I never have. Tell me about
Oh,
it.
wow, it's not too far from Boston.
They say it's lovely country.
Well, it's not bad. I don't mean to say it's exactly Acapulco, but it's nice.
Well, how close to Acapulco would you say it was?
I'd say it's about 3,800 miles from Acapulco.
No, he didn't mean that. He meant, do they have the big cliff where the fellas dive off into the ocean?
Oh, no, they do that off the Castle Point here at Boston. You see that big rock over there in that old fortress?
Oh, yes.
The natives sometimes dive there for money, for grapefruit halves, and wax paper with jelly on it.
I see way off to the south. That must be Nantasket Beach behind us, huh?
Well, how do you know all this?
I was looking at a map in the captain's cabin there this morning.
Dippa-dippa-dippa-doo.
What's that, Miss Rogers?
Dippa-dippa-dippa-da.
She says she's never been here to Boston before and is looking forward to her visit.
Dippa-dippa-dippa-da. Actually, she's saying dippa-dippa-dippa-da.
Well, sure.
Dippa-dippa-dippa-doo.
You have to read something into it.
Well, you have to notice where she's pointing and what she's looking at when she says dippa-dippa-dippa-da. Dippa-dippa-dippa-doo.
Mary, you've been to Boston before, haven't you?
Yes, but years ago when I was a girl, I went to finishing school here.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Must have changed a lot since then.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
No, you, I mean.
I beg your pardon?
You, I mean.
I don't know how
You
to
must have
take
changed
that.
a lot since finishing school, Mary.
Well,
It's a little joke.
Oh,
Sure,
got a
a great
wonder-
mood, Harry.
you got a nice sense of humor, Harry. I always said that.
He's very happy at being able to arrive in Boston this way, I guess.
Got a sense of humor like a bankruptcy referee.
Oh, here comes the Russian captain. Good afternoon, Captain.
Good morning.
How soon do you plan to land?
Any time yesterday now.
Well, I guess you're going into Rose Wharf there, aren't you?
I don't know whose wharf we'll go in. We will come back soon and up anchor. Then you can get on the ship.
I understand them now. It's beginning to worry me.
Yeah, he said everything like backwards, kind of.
Look at all those other ships saluting us.
Wonder why?
There's a fireboat sending a lot of water up into the air as a sort of salute to famed people.
How do they know we're on this Russian fishing trawler? I
I have
wonder.
no idea, Captain. Do you have any way of knowing?
I have no idea. I could understand it, but I don't know you.
Well, okay. But did you radio ahead and tell the port authority that we're coming in? And we'll have to go through customs now, getting off a foreign vessel, you
That's
know.
right, that's right.
Oh, my, yes.
I don't have my birth certificate with me either.
And I don't even have a visa to visit this country.
Well, maybe
Oh,
we'll...
you don't need a visa to visit this country.
We can prove we're Americans anyway. Miss Rogers is a little bit worried. Scowl playing across her forehead.
Wonder what that means.
I don't know.
See, I've never seen her look so worried, so frightened. I think it's the fireboat's frightening her with all the water shooting
Yeah.
straight up into the air.
That's probably what it is.
Well, Captain, I want to take this opportunity to thank you. You've been very kind, and we want to thank you for these wet clothes you gave us. You know, they really were wet.
So he did know what he was talking about on that score.
Right, that's right.
Well, pretty soon we'll be landed, headed for Chelsea.
And going through customs. That should be fun.
And so the Russian fishing vessel makes its way to Rose Wharf in Boston, and tomorrow our friends land and prepare to go through customs. And we'll hear Calvin say,
I was born in this state. What do you mean, sir?
that's tomorrow in the next exciting episode of Mary Backstage Noble Wife. Word Carr speaking.
The Bob and Ray Trophy Train is in Frederick, Maryland. And there also is Wally Ballou. Come in, please. Wally Ballou.
Frederick, Maryland, this is Wally Ballou with a report, a brief one, on the trophy train. Mr. Gilmore, I have never seen the confusion that reigns right now among these people trying to get aboard the train. Is it because of your announcement that it was going to leave earlier than originally announced?
No, what's caused the confusion here, Mr. Ballou, is that somebody has inadvertently made some substitutions in our recipe for the Maryland crab cake. Somebody has substituted the tuna fish, and it just won't wash.
Well, I can imagine that would be quite a serious offense to commit here in Maryland.
Of course, these people can spot a Maryland crab cake at 30 paces.
Right.
And to have somebody, and I don't know whether it was intentional or just one of those terrible goofs that happens every once in a while.
They're almost turning...
well, they are. They're getting hostile.
Yes.
And aggressively so, I'm afraid, because we have substituted inadvertently tuna fish for the crab in the Maryland crab cakes.
Well, I'm glad you're taking full blame for it, Mr. Gilmore, even though I don't know whether I should fear for your personal safety. He's announcing that they'll make
refunds if you can prove that you have tuna in your crab cake.
Refunds on the Maryland crab cakes.
Up here to the front office, and we'll make the money back. We'll give it back.
The uneaten portion of their tuna cakes.
Just
here.
bring the uneaten portion back. That's all we ask.
I don't know whether they can hear him or understand him. It is a scene
That's
of
all we can do.
pandemonium here in Frederick, Maryland, at the trophy train. And this is Wally Ballou returning it to New York.